As new protests loom, was Venezuela opposition outplayed? Caracas, Venezuela. Wary Venezuelans braced for another day of upheaval Wednesday, as both the opposition and Nicolas Maduro's loyalists vowed to take to the streets, hoping to tip the balance in an agonizing power struggle that appeared to grow ever more desperate after a so far unsuccessful attempt to spark a military uprising. Johans de Villa, 61, walking his dog through the streets in Venezuela's capital, littered with shotgun shells, tear gas canisters, and a charred motorcycle, where skirmishes between the opposition and state security broke out a day before. This is a war zone, he said. Opposition leader Juan Guaido stunned the nation Tuesday when he appeared on a video at dawn surrounded by a few dozen National Guardsmen urging troops to abandon Maduro and join those clamoring for the socialist leader's ouster. But while the call to action spurred protests around the nation, only a small group of soldiers left their commands. By the end of the day, it was clear that a quick end to the protracted standoff was still out of sight. A defiant Maduro, who had been absent throughout the tense day, emerged on state television late Tuesday night, surrounded by his closest advisors, blasting the plot as a U.S.-backed coup attempt and vowing to take action. This cannot go unpunished, he said.
The saber rattling is real right now.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, there was a congressman, I can't remember his name. I saw a story about it, but I didn't pull it because it wasn't all that interesting besides this. But since you pulled something about Venezuela, there was a congressman, some Republican congressman claiming that Russia has stashed nukes in Venezuela.
Oh shit, dude!
He's trying to turn it into a Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, a lot of nations actually support this opposition guy. What's his name? Guaido?
Guaido.
Well, it says it right here in this paragraph. The bold and risky move by 35-year-old lawmaker Guaido, who is recognized by the U.S. and over 50 nations as Venezuela's rightful president, is likely to force Maduro to make a decision
and
on
Maduro
whether
is recognized by
to let his adversary remain a free man.
And Maduro is recognized by China and Russia as
so. This is just another proxy war.
So, yeah, this is basically Venezuela is yet another proxy war between the U.S. and Russia and China.
It's
another coup d'etat.
It's like all these big nations go like, "Ooh, a destabilized state." They all just start salivating. Ooh, we can fucking.
Ooh, which side should we back? Ooh. So, of course, the U.S. is supporting Guaido or whatever. And, of course, the will of the Venezuelan people matters not a fucking whit to anybody involved, not to the Russians, not to the Chinese, certainly not to us. And we're, we played a huge role in the destabilization of this country as well. We had... I think last year or the year before, we passed 3 or 4 different embargoes against Venezuela, sanctions.
And in this hemisphere, we have such a disproportional influence. So, of course, every other nation is going to go, okay, we want to do business with the U.S., so we're going to stop doing business with them.
Right. So we have the ability to exert enormous pressure. Of course, so does China and Russia. So it's just another battleground because Russia and China and the U.S. can't enter into open conflict with one another. So we settle our disputes by going to destabilize nations and backing different horses and seeing who wins.
And look at this. This looks like a really well-paved, well-maintained street on what looks like it was a nice area of town at one point, and now it's got fucking barbed wire and burned-out motorcycle husks.
Barbed wire, burned motorcycles, shotgun shells, tear gas canisters.
We always know the real victims are always the people of these countries, like whether it be Syria or Venezuela. I mean,
we're gonna go liberate the fucking shit out of them.
It's always done in the name of freedom, dude. Oh, we're gonna set these people free. It's like
the best thing we could do for Venezuela is first of all drop all our stupid sanctions. And second of all, just leave them a fuck alone.
Well, if we
do that, then Russia and China will just not leave them alone.
Then there's a missile base,
right,
off our coast.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't at this point. But if some pact could be reached behind the countries funding this destabilizing sort of civil war that's brewing. If we could just all agree amongst ourselves, hey, let's just leave them alone.
Or we could just get over this stupid idea of borders and countries and start treating each other like a common species.
Well,
sharing a planet.
that seems like that's
We could do that too. I mean,
30
we could,
more steps.
Yeah, we
but-
could. No, it's really just one.
Right, but
You mean arbitrary boundaries
don't know.
just don't mean anything, Paul?
No, well, they do clearly. I don't think they should. I don't think that people in an entire fucking country should have to live through shit like this so that my fat ass can get citrus fruit for cheaper or whatever the fucking reason.
Yeah, whatever the
reason
are.
we're
Yeah.
bending Venezuela over. I think it's probably oil
yes.
because they've got oil reserves. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Well,
they got-
and it's
they got
also
oil.
Uh-oh.
what's also vindictive. It's
I
like,
found the reason why this poor little fucking country is war torn.
when you fuck with a major country, it's like you fuck with a person. It's like there's a lot of consequence to that. And when countries fuck with the U.S. and say the U.S. is a shit nation and they're the devil and they're evil and all this
Sure.
shit, and they establish these sort of hostile relationships with us, of course we're gonna go fuck them in the ass.
Well, I mean, why did that hostile relationship come about?
Probably
Did it just fall out of the fucking
Oh,
clear
well,
blue sky?
definitely not, no.
It's as a result of our fucking economic policies and our exploitation of this region.
We encroached on them, and
Exactly.
obviously they pushed back, and of course pushing back.
And now they're getting horse fucked.
Same thing with Cuba.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, we tried to rule over Cuba. They kicked our fucking puppet government out and took power for themselves. And of course, we've never forgiven them for it, even like 50,
We've
60
tried
years
to.
later.
We did for a little while.
Yeah.
And then now we've unforgiven them again.